So I have a problem. Through all of 2020, the threat of COVID-19 had governments all over the world issuing orders for people to stay in their homes and coining the term social distancing as part of the global vocabulary.
Stay home!
Well, I've been doing this social distancing well before it was cool. And without the societal pressures of one actually leaving one's home, I haven't even seen another human's face for about a year now. But with vaccines now being distributed, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And I may again be expected to go outside. However, watching anime girls for 16 hours a day changes a person, like taking away all sense of depth perception and appreciation for realistic textures and colors. So I had a dumb idea. Why don't I just make a tool that'll help me reintegrate with the outside world? To do this, I have to solve 3 problems. Problem 1. The thing actually has to work outside. It wouldn't be enough to create a virtual reality no matter how realistic it is. I have to augment actual reality. However, augmented reality hardware like the Microsoft HoloLens costs thousands of dollars. And I don't have that kind of money, because I've spent it all on 2D anime girls. What I do have is a phone. Back in 2014, Google introduced Google Cardboard, a cheap way to use common smartphone hardware to create a virtual reality experience. It does this by having an app that splits the view on the phone into 2 halves, and having a lens for both sides. All I have to do is cut off a hole for the phone's camera, make an app to split the camera view into the 2 halves, and attach a head strap to it. And now I have a cheap augmented reality headset, without the ability to actually focus on anything. Problem 1, solved. Problem 2, realistic colors and textures bother me. Now that I have an augmented reality app that works on my phone, I just need to add some image processing on my phone app. OpenCV has this function called stylization that simplifies similar colors together and highlights the edges, giving the image a painter's look. If we take that output and add some color saturation, the image begins to become something that my eyes can stand looking at. To get this working on a phone, I proceed to throw away all that code in OpenCV and trade a neural network to imitate the effect. Why? Because neural networks are cool, and I didn't really want to get OpenCV working on my phone. Now, last I checked, all of this doesn't fit into this. So I would have to make sure that the neural network can even work on my phone's hardware. Fortunately, researchers have made advances on getting small neural networks working on phone hardware, so I just based my work on that. After a bunch of training and tweaking, I got something that imitates the OpenCV effect well enough and runs in almost real time. Problem 2, solved. Problem 3, depth perception. Looking at 2D girls on a 2D screen all the time makes you forget that we experience reality with a third dimension. In the real world, when an object gets further away from you, you perceive it as getting smaller. In computer graphics, this is modeled with a view frustum that is modeled like a pyramid, so the object getting further away takes up a smaller space on your screen. This is the view that you'll see in many games, such as first-person shooters. However, that isn't the only model used in computer graphics. Orthographic projection instead models the view as a box, so objects further away take up the same amount of space on your screen. This is used in many overhead games. One can actually achieve an orthographic view in real life. If you take a simple lens, all parallel rays coming into one side will converge onto the focal point on the other side. If you put your aperture at the focal point, the viewpoint on the other side will seem orthographic. That is, an object will remain the same size regardless of distance. Such a lens system is called telecentric. The problem with telecentric lenses is that your view doesn't expand outward like perspective normally works, so it looks like you're looking through a tube the size of the lens. The solution to that is just getting a large lens. All I have to do is create an enclosure for the lens and cut out a small hole at the focal point for the camera. And now I have a telecentric lens attachment for my augmented reality headset. Problem 3 solved. Putting this all together, I now have an isekai machine to help me back into the real world. I present to you Truck-kun. Now, all that remains is trying this for real. Outside. So I'm outside. Hopefully, this will work. Well, enough of that. I actually can't see anything with the attachment on. Otherwise, I'd say this is a rousing success. I think I can handle being outside right now. Kinda sucks. I wanna go back inside. I can't see shit. It's so great. I can't. I can't see shit. I need to put the phone. It's so dumb.